Step 1, wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
I always hit the wrong button. It's supposed to disappear smooth and I always mess it up. Good morning, everybody. I am JJW, and that over there, that's Corn Pop. He's one bad dude. He will fight anybody with them hairy legs. Hairy legs.
Do I have hairy legs and am fighting people, or I will fight people with hairy legs? Both. I have hairy legs and I will fight people with hairy legs.
I just made a mistake right here on screen.
Yeah.
This is my medicine my wife made me take. Hold on a second.
You chew your pills?
No, I don't.
What the hell?
No, I messed up.
What are you chewing? Are you chewing gum?
She makes me take Claritin D to keep my, so I can breathe, and vitamin C so that I got, a little extra,
right. That's both good. Yeah.
And then she makes me take a multivitamin. Now, I used to take these multivitamins that were like these pills, and it's like packed in plastic, and they taste disgusting. Yeah. And I complained about it. And so she bought me basically adult gummy bears. and so that little thing had vitamin C, hard pills. You don't chew those up, you swallow those. And also gummy bears. And I just went bloop. And then I was like, chew. Nope, I'm making a mistake. I mixed and matched. Yeah.
That's cool. You get your own little Flintstones adults vitamins, man. I would totally take Flintstones vitamins today.
You got to do everything you can to make your morning good, sir.
Yeah, like going and starting your coffee an hour ago and then going in there to get a cup 5 minutes ago and the shit isn't started for some reason. So I was wondering why I haven't smelt the aroma of coffee throughout the morning. But so I'm going to leave here in a minute and go get my cup of coffee. I've had.
All right.
We got back from Nashville last night at 1:28 p.m.
Really?
I wake up my alarm clock went off at 4:35 this morning, and I hit the button 2 or 3 times. So I'm dragging this morning a little bit.
Yeah,
just a tiny bit.
dude.
It's a good show. We had a good show.
What were you doing in Nashville?
We went to Smashing Pumpkins and Jane's
Oh,
Addiction.
you did that last night?
Yes, just
Oh,
Smashing
great.
Pumpkins.
So you got
and
photos
Jane's
and
Addiction
videos. You got all kinds of content for us to discuss.
Well, I mean, I got photos and stuff. I'm one of those people that doesn't take video of a concert. I'm not going to go back and watch that video ever. And when you try to show somebody, they don't give two shits about what you're showing them. Look at this song, blah, blah, they don't care. It sounds like shit on your phone. You're missing the whole fucking experience by standing there holding your phone, trying to record the shit. So people that record during shows, you're idiots. I think you're an idiot. If you take a picture or taking some pictures or maybe like a little piece of the show or something, but the people that sit there and hold their phones the whole fucking show or like 3 or 4 whole songs, you're never going to go back and watch that ever.
So I mean, you're right. Let's pick that apart just a little bit, though. The people, those people you're talking about that are dumb, I'm gonna say you guys aren't dumb. What you are is you're having a great experience, and you want to share that with all your friends and your family, people you love. Except you don't realize that this little contraption, it can take a good Instagram photo, but it can't share the experience of the feeling of the music literally like impacting your body. You know, when you hear certain chords, certain music or whatever, and it like literally the sound waves are impacting you, and you're like, this is amazing. I'm in awe of whatever I'm going through. You're not going to capture that on your phone. You should leave your phone at home or leave it in your car or whatever.
Down. Just put the damn phone down. Put it in your pocket. God almighty.
Absorb the moment. Absorb
the experience. Yeah, we were sitting there last night, and I was watching this guy that was in the row in front of me a little bit. And on the way home, I asked my brother and my son, and we took my son's friend. And I was like, "Did you see that guy in front of you on his phone?" And all 3 of them were like, "The dude with the Hot Wheels." And we're like, "Yeah." So this dude sat in front of us the whole concert. Like while Smashing Pumpkins was on stage, and this band called Poppy played for about 45 minutes, and then Jane's Addiction played for a little over an hour probably, and then Smashing Pumpkins, Smashing Pumpkins played for 2 hours, almost 2 hours. We didn't leave the Bridgestone Arena until like right at 11 o'clock.
Wow.
So this guy was on his phone the whole time, right in front of us, and I couldn't figure out what the fuck he was watching. He was watching a live auction of Hot Wheels. It was a Hot Wheels auction, and Alex, my son, was like, dude, he ended up winning one of those auctions while we were sitting there watching because he was like right in front of them.
Priorities.
And so yeah, I was like, dude is at a Smashing Pumpkins concert, sitting in decent seats, and he's so concerned about a Hot Wheels auction right now on his phone. God. It's like, this is the world that we live in. This is why I pay the exorbitant amounts of money for these shitty seats, anymore at a concert, is because assholes buy up the $300 seats and they sit there and watch Hot Wheels auctions the whole time the show's going on, So,
I mean, I guess you got your priorities. Maybe I don't know.
You shouldn't be at a fucking Smashing Pumpkins concert ruining everybody else's time watching your Hot Wheels.
Or maybe this guy is way more committed to reliving his youth than you are.
Maybe he doesn't give two shits about music, and he's there and he's going to make his little money off his Hot Wheels, and he can't appreciate anything. Everybody's too wrapped up in what they're doing. They can't put their phones down for 5 seconds and listen to the birds and the trees outside, man.
You're right.
I mean, I
we sound like old men, but guys, it's the real truth. It's the real truth. You're trying to record. You're spending all your time trying to make sure I got this in frame or whatever, and your eyes are right here instead of right there. You should just take it in. I mean, I'm talking sunsets. I'm talking just amazing coincidences that you see in life, and just people doing weird stuff. Like, stop trying to get some social media clout by getting some
I
silly
know. Like,
video.
what the fuck you want some goddamn fake internet points for, and strangers all over the fucking world to approve you? There was a
Of course.
picture years ago when we were playing Contest of Champions, and there was a picture years ago where the guy it was a picture of his phone, and he was at the fucking Colosseum in Rome, and he was like, and he was playing Contest of Champions. And you could see that he was at the Coliseum, and I was like, and this was back in our heyday of Contest of Champions and whatnot. And I was like, you're a fucking idiot. If you go to the Coliseum in Rome and you're loading up Contest of Champions, you are a moron. I mean, there's no defense against that. You're a moron.
I would be absolutely remiss if right now I did not suggest that you make sure that you like and subscribe to our show.
You have to like and subscribe every time I call people morons.
No.
Oh.
We're Deacon. The joke is we're telling people not to chase clout on the internet and give me some clout on the internet.
My bad.
I'm after my internet clout.
We need fake.
Come on, bro. Hey, you know what? Yesterday I totally screwed up the Rumble key. Sorry, guys. And so the entire show we weren't live, but this morning we are live on Rumble.
You sure? Because I don't know if we're live on Rumble.
Well, maybe you should open up your Rumble thing and put in some Rumble rants in there and say,
Rumble people.
"Yo, good morning," and
hi, Rumble people. I love you.
Yeah. There's actually 3 watching. There's 3 watching, but they may be just checking my homework. Don't chew your vitamin C. All right. All right. So for the last 24 hours, I have been doing things, right? Here's some things I'm working on. I'm working to improve our Halloween monsters, our Halloween disgusting swamp monsters. I'm working on that. And I'm recutting the intro music. I'm doing a better video montage of that.
Okay.
And what else? I'm doing a little bit of work in my office. People seem to be happy with that. But I'm like stress, and I'm not finding a lot of good news stories. Not a lot of good news stories today. I did put in an appeal to YouTube. I said, "Hey, YouTube, your policy." And by the way, hi YouTube, love you. I love you. Anyway, YouTube, this is I put in an appeal to the strike. So here's the way that Deacon, just FYI, here's the way the strike goes.
No, let me know.
Yeah, I know you're concerned. So the first time you violate the rules, you get a warning. So my channel got a warning a month, 6 weeks ago or whatever. For who cares? It doesn't matter. Then if you do anything else, you get a strike. You get 1 strike, you get a week off. You get 2 strikes, you get 2 weeks off. You get 3 strikes, you get forever weeks off. And once you get a strike, it sits there. Does it sit there forever or for 90 days?
Is it on your permanent record? When you get a strike, is it on your permanent record?
The warning is on my permanent record.
Oh, man. How are we ever going to get a job?
It's right there next to whenever I told my 3rd grade teacher that she stinks. It's right there on my
permanent record now. They're going to see that strike on there. That's unacceptable.
I know. So I think the strikes do fall off after 90 days. The problem is, do I have a 90-day window where I'm not going to say something that gets me another strike? We don't know. So here's what I did, Deacon. I put an appeal in. I said, I read the first of all, when you get a strike, you do not get very much information. You do not get anything that says you said this right here and that was a problem. So I'm watching the entire video and I'm like, I'm not exactly sure what I said. And by the way, if you guys want to see the entire video, it's over on rumble.com. It's called $86 Million Heist. Wherein, and that video is great because I had tried to set up this great heist thing and Deacon totally stole my thunder with like some $2 trillion federal budget stuff.
I did.
Anyway, he torpedoed my story. It was funny.
Sorry,
good morning.
Did I really torpedo your story?
Yeah, you did. I was setting this up as this big, awesome heist that the FBI did. And then you were like, that's nothing. that's jump change.
Oh, when I talked about 9/11. Oh,
Yeah,
my
you can
bad.
find that video. It's in my Rumble. It's in the Rumble feed. Go to YouTube. Go to Rumble. Not here. Go to Rumble. Rumble.com/JJW. Anyway, so I watched the entire video.
My
And I
bad.
put an appeal in. I said, you guys struck me for medical misinformation. So I listened to everything we said. And then I went to the WHO. And the WHO, see, I can only get so close to this. So I went to the WHO, and the WHO has a story that is consistent with the story we presented online. So I put an appeal in. I said, YouTube, this is the story we ran. This is what the WHO says. They are not inconsistent. You should reconsider the strike. And and let me tell you, it's so great. The YouTube responded within 24 hours, and they said,
they did because it's automated.
yeah, they said no. I'm like, oh, all right. Hey, I put a lot of work into that. I mean, I waited until
expect them to say anything different, honestly.
No. I mean,
No.
well, I was like, well, look, you got to try, right? You got to try. Didn't work.
That's to me. I mean, I can see, and it's admirable. You got to try. Yeah, I understand. But to me, I look at that as a pointless attempt. So why try? Because you already know
means.
the answer. There's no try when you already know the answer. And some people are like, well, you can always, there's always a chance. No, there's not. There was never a chance that you were going to get this unstricken. Use your common. JJ, you're a smart person. Use your brain. That was never going to happen.
It was highly improbable. But here's the thing: if I lived my whole life thinking like that, I would never get anything done. And so,
yeah, but you can't think the highly improbable is going to happen, or we'd turn into couches like fucking Arthur.
No, but here's the thing: I have made appeals, not appeals where I was in trouble, but I have made other kinds of appeals, and I've gotten stuff that I had no right to get because I framed it and asked in a certain way. So, it has worked before and under different circumstances. I understand. Yeah, I thought I gave myself like a 20% chance of success.
Okay.
It just didn't work out.
That's a good. Yeah. I mean, I understand. I'm different. I don't think I'll waste my time.
I am certain that I will get another swing at this bat.
I'm sure you will. Would you like that today?
I don't want that today.
All right.
Can we please get people to subscribe to Rumble before we lose our entire voice on YouTube? Just go to Rumble.
All
right.
Just don't have any vaccine stories today, please.
No.
I know it's all in the freaking news. It's all.
Dude, it's like you're just not allowed to read the news now.
Yeah, I mean it's coming from the CDC and the WHO, and I didn't even put any of those stories in our news. I was like, I think this is bullshit. We can't even talk about it because I'm scared of YouTube. Fuck YouTube.
Yeah. So here's what I think.
Glorified Dungeons and Dragons video storage facilities, all you are to me. and when my wife's car breaks down, I've got that channel that I go to. And there's a couple. I have been to YouTube so many times to fix car stuff. Like, because I'm not a car guy, really. So I'm just like, somebody on here has done this and put it on YouTube because they thought it was going to be amazing. When does it become? When will YouTube ever become public property because of the advantages that it has to help the public?
Will it be nationalized?
When will the public say this is no longer a private thing because it's so big and there's so much information and so much? When do you think they'll do that? 100 years? 50 years?
I don't know. I mean, why? Here's the thing. The government seizes private assets when the government can take it and use it to get what the government wants. That's really what happens. Why do they need to do that when YouTube will just do it for them?
Yeah, that's a good point.
When corporate America just does the political government agenda on their behalf, then there's no reason to seize those private assets. Also, that's called fascism. That's actual fascism, not your hippie methed out make believe anti-fascist.
Before in this country in the past 10 years, JJ, have you not seen that? Exactly.
I've seen it. You know what? I'm gonna tempt the dragon, Deacon, but I'm gonna caution you. Please be careful.
Should I go get my coffee now? I'm gonna go get my coffee.
Yeah, this is a good time. This is a good time for you to get your coffee. But I'm gonna tempt the dragon, and we're gonna see how far this AI thing goes. This is a huge mistake on my part, and I will I'm just gonna acknowledge this is probably a bad idea. But you guys are watching us live dangerous live right now. This is from the World Health Organization. This document says the World Health Organization, that is, oh, you know what? I'm not even gonna hide the browser. Let me make sure that you can see the URL in the browser. Here we go. That is www.who.int. That's international. World Health Organization. I am not going to the CDC. I'm not going to New York Post. I'm not on any wacko QAnon or whatever the hell that's called news site. This is the World Health Organization, so this is consistent with YouTube. This is a statement that they published originally in November 2021, but updated in August 2022. So it's very likely that this information, which is now 2 months old, is still ahead of the information that YouTube is operating to censor and constrain, I don't know, political dissidents. The interim statement on COVID-19 vaccination for children. This document was originally published and updated in August. And down here, a little bit down here, Hold on, I'm on the wrong browser. There's a section that calls safety of COVID-19 vaccines in adolescents and children. In phase 2/3 trials for both mRNA vaccines, this is a quote, I am not making anything up, efficacy and immunogenicity were similar or higher compared to adults. Safety and reactogenicity profiles in adolescents were similar to young adults. During phase 3 trials in young children aged 6 months to 5 years, no safety signal was identified, but the sample size was too small to identify rare events. In post-production studies and real-world experience, a very rare serious adverse event was reported, myocarditis, pericarditis, and then there are some stats about how frequently that happened. Okay, so that's as far as I'm going to go. If I get a strike for that, guys, we're going to be off YouTube for 2 weeks. And if not, then at least YouTube is playing fair with their own rules. That is straight up WHO. That's all I got to say about that. All right, Deacon.
Yikes, did I miss the news story?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about.
It's not exactly news. It's old news. He could hear. He's playing around, guys. My daughter always asks, Dad, are you joking? Because she's not sure. Anyway, all right.
A lot of the stuff, and I've asked Ashley this before when we first started. I was like, I don't think JJ knows when I'm being sarcastic. I'm really dry on certain things, but I do it with like I'm being sarcastic, asshole-ish on purpose. Like I'm hoping that you catch my being an asshole on purpose. And I think you do a lot of the times, but there's been a couple of times when I've tried to make a joke and you didn't make a joke, and I'm like,
yeah.
Does he know that I'm not being serious, that I'm being serious, but I'm being serious to be sarcastic?
Oh.
You know, sometimes when I'm like,
aware.
JJ, blah, 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 you know, that's stupid, blah, blah, blah. And I'm being like stupid to like show a point, you know,
and I
like
get
when
you.
I call myself an idiot. I really don't think I'm an idiot, but I have to call myself an idiot, you know, because
my wife doesn't appreciate self-deprecating humor either, but I do it a lot. I don't do sarcasm a lot, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, I don't do sarcasm a lot.
No, I like.
I mean, a lot of people do.
I like the self-depreciating humor.
I do like self-depreciating humor.
Yeah, I'll rag.
I think it's good to keep yourself, you know, like if you, especially if you really think a lot of yourself, like, you know, I do. It's really good to at least maintain the facade that you have some humility and dignity.
That always works for me in radio, was to like bash myself, because that way you couldn't bash me. If you know, if you're going to give me if you're going to call me a name, I'm going to be like, that's the best you can do. I could come up with something better than that. I've got sweepers that make fun of me better than that.
I want to say good morning to some of our listeners. I'm sure my brother's here. Good morning, my brother. Also, Manuel Rosario. Good to see you again this morning, and I hope your daughter is having a good morning as well. He usually listens to us while he's taking his kid to school, and they listen to the intro song. They like it, Deacon. They like the intro song. I'm just telling you. Also, we got a viewer over on Rumble named at Wobbly Bits. So thank you for watching Wobbly Bits, and I'll remind you to hit that little Rumble button and help us fight the power, fight the powers that be. And you're at the front of the line, because as soon as this show is cut off of YouTube,
if you do this,
you're ready to go.
You'll have wobbly bits.
Can you do the Indian version of that? The Indian version, it's crazy because like it just moves their jaw and the top of the head doesn't move, and they're like, I knew we had some Indian neighbors a long time ago, sweet people, but they would sometimes do that, and I would be like, I don't even understand how you're able to move how do you move your head like that? But it is a completely cultural thing. Like it's kind of like I'm listening kind of thing.
That's cool.
I don't know why you're reminding me of that. You never seen that? Mm-mm. You should Google, check it out. Indian head wobbles. Okay. What do you want to talk about? I've already peed on YouTube.
I had something that was interesting. Let me pull this one up here. Sure. I thought this was funny yesterday. Oh, come here, mouse. You're being stupid this morning. What the hell? So I ran across this yesterday. I thought it was funny. iPhone 4. Do you have an iPhone? You have an Android?
No, I don't have an iPhone. I will never iPhone. Apple.
No, I won't either. Yeah. I've tried to convince my kids. My kids just have drank the Kool-Aid, drank the iPhone Kool-Aid.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. They think
they're getting all their prestige points from their friends. They're like, "Oh, you got an iPhone too."
Yeah, iPhone. That's all it is.
Oh, that's good stuff.
The iPhone's got this new crash detection feature. It's supposed to alert authorities when it detects that you've been hit by a car, if you've been in a car accident. So I'm guessing that the technology probably goes with sensors in your phone that indicate when you've come to a sudden stop or a sudden, braking or something like that. Wouldn't you think that that's how it happens?
Yeah, it's some sort of like rapid change in velocity. I'm sure it has something to do with rapid change in velocity.
Yeah, so let's see. Apple rolled out the new crash detection with its new iPhone 14 Watch Series 8, SE, and Ultra last month. So the sensors detect that you've been in an accident. Your phone will display an alert message and call emergency services if you don't dismiss it within 20 seconds. And it will call law enforcement, blah, 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 blah. So that's what exactly what several users' Apple devices did, but at the wrong time. The iPhones are calling 911 when the owner was strapped to a roller coaster at Kings Island in Cincinnati. Kings Island is this huge amusement park up there. It's got a bunch of roller coasters, and some of the best in the world are at Kings Island. And so the iPhones are calling 911 because of roller coasters. I thought that was pretty funny.
That's pretty funny, but
that is one of those that you would never anticipate. All of your freaking users or engineers that created this would have never, ever probably anticipated a roller coaster.
So that is an amusing version of this, but we got since you bring up iPhones. See, I would have never picked the iPhone story because I know you know iPhone, but since you picked some, there's a couple of iPhone stories that we're going to talk about. Okay. This one's related to your crash detection, which funny. And now I'm gonna rain on the parade. Gonna rain on the parade, sir. Okay. This happened last week, October 3rd. Also, the iPhone 14. It alerts first responders to a crash that killed 6 young people.
I heard about this.
This is so awful.
How terrible is this? Yeah,
6 young people were killed when a car slammed into a tree in Nebraska. The horrific crash was detected by the iPhone 14, which alerted first responders. 5 men in the Honda died at the scene of the crash around 2:15. I assume the 24-year-old woman who suffered critical injuries later died at a hospital. And if this is the car, how were 6 people in this like little car? It's like a sedan, so they must have been
died. It's
packed in
because
there.
there were 4 people packed in the back.
Yeah. So I mean, it's tragedy. So the roller coaster thing is a joke, but like they did this new feature, and they're like, oh, if somebody gets in a fender bender, this is gonna be helpful. And then immediately, like
the first thing, it was like the first thing after this.
Like,
the first
geez.
Yeah.
What do you think if you're at iPhone? If you're at Apple, you're like, oh my god, my god, we just got ourselves directly involved in like the most horrible stuff.
They don't
and
care.
Now, can they pull that feature? If they pull that feature, are they liable for not? You know what I mean?
No, they're not liable, and they're not going to pull the feature. Why would they?
I don't know, man. Well, what happens whenever people get into a crash and the thing signal, but then it doesn't work, and then some family sues Apple because my kid could have survived.
No, it's not. No, that's a frivolous lawsuit. It's not designed to do that. It wasn't promised that it was going to do that, and it's not promised to save freaking lives. A lot of people take shit. Into consideration that they don't need to take. They assume a lot of things. That feature is not supposed to save anyone's life. It's supposed to alert when an accident has happened, be it a fender bender or a terrible one that kills 6 people. What did it do? This accident they had an accident that severely hurt 6 people and killed 6 people, and the app did exactly what it was supposed to do.
It did.
Was it a terrible situation that it alerted to? Absolutely. Right. But it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It did not do anything wrong.
I just can't believe that. I just find it a little bit I don't know.
I'm sure it wasn't
not shocking, but just a little bit like if you were an Apple executive, like, do you want your product to be out the gate immediately associated with things like this?
No, but there's nothing that they can do about that. There's not a damn thing that they can do about it. And honestly, if I was the PR firm, I would be telling that guy, quit worrying about it, because honestly, this proved that the function does exactly what it was supposed to do. We made this function to do X, and it did X when it was supposed to. So I don't know why everybody's so upset about it. The only reason people are upset about it was because it was a horrific crash that killed 6 people. Yeah. That's the only thing that people are upset. They're upset that this person was alerted by a phone. Well, it was exactly what the fucking thing was supposed to do.
Yeah, but it not only...
If you want to wait until Karen calls you 45 minutes later going, did you hear about what happened on Route 44 this morning?
But think about this too. Also, just let's explore this idea for a moment. It not only notified authorities, it notifies your family. So in this situation,
you signed up for the fucking thing.
Man, that's true.
You're the one that signed up for it. The little girl should have told you in the store, if you're in an accident, it will alert. Do you want it to alert your family members? Who do you want it to alert? Yeah, alert me if I'm in an accident. I'm sorry that it is a terrible accident that there was 6 people killed and it wasn't a fender bender. But if it was a fender bender and the airbag would have deployed, they would have got the same alert. And they would have had the same, oh my God, what's going on? What's happening? Oh, good. She's okay. It's just a fender bender.
And so it looks like Mr. E actually has an iPhone. Mr. E is our viewer friend who I'm eventually going to bring on the show. I don't know when or what the context is. I'm going to eventually get him to come talk to us. But Mr. Absolutely. E apparently has set an iPhone, and maybe you can set it up certain ways. My kid's not old enough to drive. I got a long time to worry about that, but I just can't imagine as a parent getting I got notifications here. Let me just let me go through my notifications. My wife texted me. I got a little breaking news from ground.com. I got some garbage tweets. JJ, my kid was in an accident. Oh, she's dead.
No. This to have this feature on the iPhone, this feature, first of all, is kind of old news because this is an old fucking feature if you think about it. Because I've got an app that does a lot of this shit already.
Oh, really?
If Ashley or Kendra or Alex or Deacon or any of them are somewhere where they break too hard, this app will
Oh,
tell me.
yeah? Well, you got Life 360 on
I
them?
got Live 360 on them. And my buddy we were joking about it one night because all my D&D buddies are all dads and they have kids. And we were sitting there one night and I heard the little ding on one of their phones. And I was like, somebody just got home, and they all laughed. And we were talking about Live 360. And he said,
Right.
yeah, he busted his daughter. This was a while ago, but he was like, yeah, I busted my daughter the other night. I got an alert on my Live 360 that she was in an accident. It wasn't an accident, but it was like extreme braking or something, that she had went from a 1 speed to no speed. And the Live 360 alerted that she had, and he knew that they were on four-wheelers. So she called and whatnot, and she's like, no, we're good, blah, blah, blah. And then he said when they got home, he was like, you did this and you braked really hard. And she had to admit that, we had a minor accident on the four-wheeler, but everybody was okay. She wasn't going to tell him, but he was like, my Live 360 busted your ass. So, I mean, Live 360 will work within, sometimes it don't, but I can tell where everyone is, how they're moving, how fast they're moving, if they're on the phone while, if the phone activity is going on, how fast they're going. Right. So, I mean, this stuff is not brand new technology. So somebody that's going to be like, I'm suing you, this shit's old. I've had Live 360 for 5 years.
Wobbly Bits over on Rumble says the iPhone auto call is the first step to the 3 shells.
You're exactly right.
Yes. Wobbly Bits, that is the comment of the morning, sir. Thank you, sir. That's good stuff. I wish we could bring. I'm gonna somehow get Restream and I don't know, Rumble to get together so that I could put comments on screen here. We're gonna figure that out. So I got one more iPhone story. It's not new. This is about a month old, but salient. So I'm gonna bring it back. I remembered it as soon as we started talking about iPhone stuff. According to,
I am not even paying attention to my job this morning. I've just sat here with like 2.5 minutes of fucking dead air. Because I'm not paying attention to anything.
It's a rough morning, guys.
I have to
press 1 in the chat if you're having a rough morning. Deacon's got to fix things. All right, I'm going to talk about this from, pardon me for clearing my throat. I'm just having a rough day. September 9th, we had on New York Post, Apple, quote, playing with fire, buying iPhone 14 parts from a Chinese supplier, according to lawmakers. Apple is reportedly looking to use chips from a controversial Chinese government-linked company in its new iPhone 14, and several U.S. lawmakers are up in arms. Following a report in South Korea media that Apple planned to use chips from the Yangtze Memory Technologies company in its new lineup of iPhones, Senator Marco Rubio from Florida, God bless Florida, blasted the company for playing with fire. If Apple moves forward, it will be subject to scrutiny like it has never seen from the federal government. Rubio raged to the Financial Times, "We cannot allow Chinese companies beholden to the Communist Party into our telecommunications network and millions of Americans' phones." Rep. Michael McCall from Texas, God bless Texas, likewise told the newspaper that YMTC, the Yangtze Memory Technologies Company, has extensive ties to the Chinese Communist Party and the military. Apple will effectively be transferring knowledge and know-how to YMTC that will supercharge its capabilities and help the CCP achieve its national goals. And this isn't even really like rhetoric. You know exactly how popular and how many people in government and out carry iPhones, and they all these you guys are geniuses, I'm sure, but these dopes every year they buy the newest iPhone. They always get the latest one. Well, if within a year you suddenly have millions, or I mean, because there's millions of people that work for the federal government and for governments and across the country, but certainly hundreds of thousands of federal employees that have Chinese-made iPhones in their pockets. You think their radios? You think they don't have spyware? Like, not ubiquitously, but that's definitely a vector of attack. Definitely a vector of attack, and it's one that the Chinese government would absolutely exploit, because why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they reach into your phone and get information out if they can, and you wouldn't even know? Of course they would.
Because that's immoral, JJ, and they wouldn't do that because that's immoral and it's not right.
I mean, America would do it.
Like do it.
We would for sure do it. If we could reach into Putin's phone and be like, let's find out who he's texting, we would absolutely be doing that.
We're not the
So
bad guy.
don't even kid yourself.
That's not America. We don't do stuff like that.
I don't do stuff like that. I don't trust the government.
I actually work with a woman that believes that kind of thinking. Oh, America would never do that. And I'm like, you're a moron. You should vote.
She's a kind heart. She should not vote. I do not call her a moron. I say that she is a kind and empathic person and wants to believe in the best of humanity, but humans are wretched creatures, and your friend should not vote. She should not be voting. She doesn't have any good sense. Wobbly Bits is over here too. The iPhone auto. Wow, how did he do that? The iPhone auto call is the first step to the 3. How I am totally mystified. I don't know how he did this. He must. The iPhone auto call is the first step to the, but it is host that reported this. Maybe Deacon did that? I don't know. Let's see what chat has to say about this. Mystery says Big Brother's watching. One in the chat, bunch of ones. I thought iPhones were already manufactured in China. iPhones are largely, I think they're made in Taiwan, and I don't. Are they manufactured in China?
No clue.
I don't know. I don't have to worry about that because I don't mess around with iPhones. I know that Samsung, which is based in South Korea, Samsung, which is what I have, is not China. So I assume that Samsung is not made in China. And unlike China, South Korea is our neighbors. And we have a great relationship with North Korea and a great alliance and relationship with North Korea, according to our vice president. All right.
I want a. There's nothing wrong with my phone. I've had it for a couple of years now. I'm sure if Ashley will be like, "You've had it for 6 months," and that's not. I don't know how long I've had this phone, but it's in great condition. Don't have any scratches or anything. Put that shit down before I curse myself here. I mean, but I had a guy come in the studio a couple of months ago. Now it's been a couple of months, and he was sitting right here. And we was interviewing him for this thing, and he had one of the fucking folds, one of those folds.
Oh yeah,
that go like this.
I think those are so gimmicky. You like it?
I did too. Wait a minute. I thought that's gimmicky. That's bullshit. I would never want one of those. Those are dumb. So I never looked at one. So I was like, I watched him use his fold phone over here, and I was watching it, and it was right before the new Fold Force came out. So this was the old one. And I was asking, I was like, how you like that? And he's like, I love this phone, blah, blah, blah. And he was ranting, raving about this phone. He was loving it. He was like, pick it up, use it, blah, blah, blah. So I was looking at it, and I was really, what I was doing is I was unfolding it, folding it, and I was looking at the crease. How the screen creases, because that's every.
And there's not no crease. There is a crease, but
there is a crease. So I was looking at it, and you couldn't see it. I mean, it was really good. And I thought, how many times do you open this and close this a day? And he was like, oh, 1 million. I was like, so how long is this supposed to last? You open and close this thing so many times a day, it causes wear and tear, and it's eventually going to go out on that screen right there. And that's the concern I have.
Right.
And he was like, I don't know. I've had it for a while, and it's great. So that's what I want now. I want a fold.
You want to get a fold?
Yeah.
I've seen them before, and it's like, okay, so a fold phone, it would be like the same size as this, but then you could fold it, and it would be like this, and then you could fold it up. It'd be twice as large, so you'd have twice as much real estate to play your video games, right? And
I don't play video games anymore. See, that's the
right. Exactly.
the caveat. That's what I was fixing to get at.
So I
Not
would have like
every
twice
time.
as much real estate to be like, I can have my YouTube app over here, my
Right.
my Rumble app here, and I could be trying to find news stories so that we have something
Right.
to talk about.
Because I do a lot of D&D stuff now, and I do it from my phone and whatnot, and it would be nice to have this bigger so that I could,
Yeah.
type and read and whatnot, because when I bought this phone years ago, guess what the number one stipulation for getting a phone was?
Play Contest of Champions.
Play Contest of Champions.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
exactly
absolutely.
right. That was the number one. I went into that AT&T store and I was like, I want a phone. And Ashley was like, this is actually funny. The guy goes, Ashley goes, he wants a phone that's going to play this video game.
Right.
He plays. And he
Yes.
goes, and I wasn't going to say it, but Ashley did. And he
Yes.
goes,
I'll tell
oh,
you, you and me are in the same car right now.
yeah. And he goes, oh, what game? And I was like, oh, Contest of Champions. And he goes, oh, I play Contest of Champions, blah, blah, blah. What level are you? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm 60, I'm 60th level. It's not a big deal. It's fucking top out at 60. And he's like, oh, I'm
Maxed
60th
out.
level too.
I'm uncollected.
Like, who have you got? Blah, blah, blah. And he started talking. And I was like, dude, I didn't say I run, but I was like, I'm a part of the, I was like, I created it. I was like, I'm in a podcast. Too? I was like, I'm in a podcast, the UMCOC podcast. And we've been around for, several years, and we have hundreds of thousands of listeners by now. And, over the course of every show, we've had, tens of thousands of listeners. And
we had for sure that many. Thousands upon thousands. Yeah.
Thousands upon thousands of listeners. And he goes, I know Rich the Man.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, screw you.
That was for me, that kind of experience. Cause I think it was like probably 2018 or 2019, I guess. I'm not sure. Yeah. And I had my phone and I dropped it and I cracked the screen. And before that, that phone was the S8 Plus. And we're talking 2018, 2019. Yeah. And it was like, it would play the game fine. And then like every update, it would be like worse and worse and hot. And just like that. And this is, they published a version of the app and it just doesn't work well. And it actually strained the phone. So when I eventually upgraded, I got that S10 Plus and that ran great and smooth. And then eventually I quit. And since I quit playing the game, I basically have been like, this phone's fine. I don't need to update. I got no reason to update. Yeah. I got a big ass crack on the back of my glass, but my front is okay. So I'm like, they don't really give a shit.
I've got a S21 Plus, and
oh, do you really?
Yeah, and it's played the game great, but like I said, I don't play competitive.
I might upgrade to make better book review videos. Somebody asked me to make more book review videos, so like I'm on it. I'm working on finding some time to finish this. One of them I want to do is I know some people are so interested in this book right here. I got this book a while back. I got it over this summer. It's called Empress. It's by Mark Millar.
Ooh, I like Mark.
This book is amazing. Good. It's I got it for $20. I got it for $20 at the comic shop. If you're ever in a comic shop, then walk past all the Marvel and DC stuff and go find the Mark Millar Millarverse stuff because he makes great stuff.
As a Marvel kid growing up my whole life reading mostly Marvel, walk past the Marvel shit when you go to your comic book store.
It's garbage.
Walk past the DC garbage, man. If you're going to read some comic books, and man, there are some great comics. Find you an independent one. Let me recommend you a comic series right now. Just pick it up. I don't care what issue. Just pick up 100 Bullets.
Oh yeah. I
remember who makes it.
I'm
Best
gonna look that up,
comic series. It's so freaking awesome.
That's been out for a long time.
For the people that don't know, the premise is if you were wronged, you had a great wrong in your life. There is this organization, this man will show up in this suit and he will give you a briefcase and he will explain to you that inside the briefcase is all of the evidence to prove that you were wronged. So everything that you need to prove your name and to solve your issue is in there. but also in that briefcase is a gun and 100 untraceable bullets that will always come back untraceable no matter who does the forensics and whatnot. It will always come back. They will never come back to you. So you have your choice. That's what the comic's about, the people and their choices. Do you do the right thing, or which choice do you make? It's not right or wrong. It's which choice do you make? You know, some
Right.
people will say that's the right choice and the wrong choice, and it's not. There's choices and consequences, and so I love that. I love it. I love it.
So I remember seeing 100 bullets way back in, I mean, I'm talking the early 2000s.
Yeah,
and I'm
this
sure
is
they've done
like-
many volumes
This
since
is
then.
old. Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, early.
But I never
2000s.
picked it up. But it's by Brian Azzarello and
Yeah, I bet it's
Eduardo
not in
Riso.
publication anymore, is it?
No, it was part of the Vertigo line, and the entire Vertigo,
that's right.
line
Vertigo,
got shut down.
Vertigo. Yeah,
But
Vertigo.
yeah, I should definitely go check that. I might,
Absolutely.
especially if they have like an omnibus or something like that. Maybe I'll pick
Yeah,
that up.
there's,
And Mr. E is recommending Stray Bullets. So I've never heard of Stray Bullets. So
Stray Bullets.
Stray Bullets comic. So here is. Let me pull this up and just have a look at it.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll look up Stray Bullets. I'm all about some good stories, and I like art. I'm a big art. Okay.
Sunshine. So Stray Bullets. I like this. This is kind of cool. We'll see. It's an Image title. Oh, there you go.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
an Image fan. Yeah,
We got some interesting stuff happening here. What is this relationship? Looks creepy.
It's
like
Scarlet
an old
Witch and
man and his.
Quicksilver. No, it's Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Oh, is it? It looks like dad and daughter is what it looks like. Ew. Yeah, gross.
It's
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
Oh my god, Joe Biden. Biden. All right, dude. I just saw some good news.
Yeah.
I saw some good news. Do you
Good
know?
news.
So I only is this political? So here we go. I'm gonna maybe do this. I'm sure you are, but I'm gonna ask just for a segue.
Yeah,
basically,
I am.
do you know? Are you familiar with Tulsi Gabbard?
Yes. Yes.
Tulsi Gabbard is a former congressperson from the state of Hawaii. I think she's not a congressperson right now. I think and she ran for president in the Democratic Party in the primaries in 2020.
I knew the name, but I was not refreshed on who she was. But okay, I know now. Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard, and she's a military veteran, Democrat from Hawaii. Awesome. She actually picks up quite a bit of respect from the right, even though she's a Democrat. Basically, anyone that is left of communist right now is considered right by the far left, and so even though she's a Democrat, by the left wing of the party, she is basically accused of being a fake Democrat or whatever. Okay. So.
We have the fake Republicans that they accuse too.
So it appears that Miss Tulsi Gabbard, whom I don't agree with on policy personally, on some issues. On some issues, I kind of like her position. On some issues, I don't agree with her. But I respect Tulsi Gabbard because I believe that she is an authentic person that is actually trying to communicate a reasonable position, and I respect that. Tulsi Gabbard has announced that she is leaving the Democratic Party. Former Democratic presidential candidate Representative Tulsi Gabbard announced Tuesday that she's leaving the political party. Gabbard, of Hawaii and military veteran, made an announcement on Twitter in a post that included a roughly 1 minute long video in which she talks about her reasons for leaving the party. Quote, "I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that is now under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers driven by cowardly wokeness who divide us by racializing every issue and stoke anti-white racism," she wrote. Her departure is not a complete surprise. Gabbard has for years been an outspoken critic of the Democratic Party, which has made her a popular figure among the Republicans. So, hello, Tulsi. Hello, Tulsi Gabbard. Now, I'm not really expecting her to join the Republican Party. But if she makes moves to run as an independent, I think she'll be successful. If she makes moves to run as a libertarian, I think she'd be successful. And if she wanted to join the Republican Party, I'm certain that the Republicans would have her in too. The Republican Party today is certainly a lot more diverse and has a wider umbrella than it ever has in the past. So that is pretty cool, I think. So let's keep our eye on Tulsi and see where she decides to go. Here is the Twitter. Let me see if I can pull the Twitter up. Let's get Tulsi in her own words, just for, I'm sure there's people that have seen our show that aren't intimately familiar with Tulsi. So we'll just run this here.
Hello, Tulsi.
Here's Tulsi.
Hear you. We can't hear what you say. But I would
yeah,
like
I
to.
did it. I did it. I did it wrong.
I like to listen to your two dads on Rumble every single weekday morning.
Hell yeah.
I can
Tulsi.
no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that's under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness, who divide us by racializing every issue and stoking anti-white racism.
Yes.
Who actively work to undermine our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution, who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality, who demonize the police but protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans, who believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state to go after their political opponents, and above all, who are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war. Now, I believe in a government that's of the people,
burning these people.
by the people,
She's like,
and for the people.
Tulsi Gabbard's like, not only am I out, I'm gonna throw a match on this bitch.
Well,
Burn this shit down.
Really think I don't really think she's throwing a match. She's just really kind of saying stuff that I've heard a billion times. It's just she's right, and the people that don't see that are not privy to that particular part of the environment. I like to say, because I live in the country in Kentucky, I don't live in a big city, so I am not privy to a lot of those big city problems and whatnot. So I don't know. It was like in Nashville last night, we were talking about some things, and I was like, oh, that makes sense being in a city, but that would not work where we live.
She posted this like an hour ago, dude.
Oh, really? Play the rest of it.
Unfortunately, today's
Breaking
Democratic
news.
Party does not.
We got this story before Tim Pool. That's it. I got you, Tim Pool. I beat you to the break. Ha!
Instead, it stands for a government that is of, by, and for the powerful elite. Now, I'm calling on my fellow common sense, independent-minded Democrats to join me in leaving the Democratic Party. If you can no longer stomach the direction that the so-called woke Democratic Party ideologues are taking our country, then I invite you to join me.
Did you see?
Go get him, Tulsi.
There was a commercial that was going around Reddit there for a couple of days, and I think it was a commercial, propaganda commercial out of Russia, and it was talking about, it was like these two Russian man and woman, this couple was wanting to go to America, and they were moving to America, and it was like a great thing, but things kept happening on the airplane that was kind of indicative of American culture that they were having to put up with. Like at one point the guy's like, he gets a piece of meat on his fork and he's fixing to bite it, and the stewardess comes up to him and she's like, "Excuse me, sir, we're going to have to ask you to quit eating that meat because the couple behind you are vegetarians and they're offended by that piece of meat. So let me just go ahead and take that and whatnot." And they were like, this is how life is in America. You have to, then, and one was, him and two or three other white guys were waiting at the back for the restroom, and a black guy walks up and they all start bowing to him and let the black guy go and use the bathroom before the white guy because we owe the black people because of the way we treated them for years, is what the fucking commercial said.
Oh my God. I mean, all right.
Great.
Okay.
Hey, so I mean, yes, she's not talking anything wrong.
So, Mr. E, who, by the way, socially left of you, right? Socially on policy left of you, probably left of me on some issues. He says Joe Biden isn't doing Democrats any favors. Fact. He's also, but I mean, he is getting us to communicate with the dead, though. Tulsi Gabbard never said this. Says YouTube, strike 2. Yeah, very likely.
We got some great
Very likely.
comments today. Today's hard.
Right. Yeah, it's good stuff. We had a rough content setup day. We're just struggling to do the best we can. And by the way, if you haven't already, make sure to go to rumble.com, because when this show gets struck, that's the only place you're going to find me. All right, that's good stuff. It sounds like so Mr. E thinks he's talking directly to Bernie Sanders. Bernie, Bernie's a total sellout, guys. Bernie, maybe several years ago, Bernie would have been like, "Oh, we could give millionaires and billionaires or whatever." Bernie gave up. Hey, you stop. Come here.
Oh, he's good. You're good.
That's
I
the
love
dog.
her
The dog was all
hair.
over my
No,
kids'
my
hair.
dog does that. My dog will start licking, and it's the loudest shit in the world.
Please don't touch. Okay.
I want a headphone.
Oh, you want a headphone? You want to listen to here? You can listen. Oh. All right.
Hi, Deacon.
Hi, I love your hair. It's so pretty.
Who did that?
Mom.
What is it?
Beads.
It's beads and braids in your hair?
If I had hair, I would have it exactly like that. I think it's so beautiful.
Do you think Dad should do that? Should I grow my hair out and put beads and braids in my hair?
Deacon, you don't have any hair.
Oh, you go! Oh my God! She said it out loud. She said the quiet part out loud.
I used to have a lot of hair. I used to be able to go like this.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
Can you imagine? Can you
I
imagine?
got hair on my chinny chin though. Look, I got
he's got a beard.
Hair. I'm like the little three piggies.
You got beard like my dad.
I know. I know.
Yeah, like your dad.
Your dad's red, ain't it?
Yeah, I got red beard, huh? Except for right here. What color is it right there?
Is he a pirate? It's gray, I bet. Is that gray?
Yeah. Got the gray. I got the gray. All right. So I would. Hey, can you go get dressed? Okay, go pick out some clothes.
Bye.
Oh, you don't want to go yet? You want to sit here? This is going to be boring for you. So Bernie Sanders used to be like, a consumer advocate. He used to be like, power to the people. He's basically like as commie lefty as you can get, but he got dumped over by the Democratic Party in 2016 and in 2020, and he's since then he's just sold out. He wrote his books. He has not been leading the Bernie Bros.
No,
not really.
And he makes
collected his paycheck.
He makes comments on social media here and there, and when he does, they are. They're pretty dead on fire to the wall comments, but it's almost at this point. How old is Bernie? It's almost.
He's like 81, I think, or something like that. He's like super old.
We've got Joe Biden in there, so geez.
Yeah, that's true.
We have people preaching all the time about getting these old people out and term limits and whatnot. So, I don't have. I don't have very many issues with Bernie. I do have some issues with Bernie, but I don't want someone 80 years old in office anymore. I'm done with these old people. I really am.
For sure. Yeah. Oldie's got to go.
I feel like that. If someone is running for office and they are 70 years old or above, I'm probably not going to vote for you.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? That's your only choices. Choice A, 81, choice B, 79.
When that's the only choice, then that is when we talk to the people that are deciding our choices and we make the changes there.
Yeah. We got a primary amount. Yeah, for sure.
Our only choices don't need to be two 70-year-old people. And if that's the case and that's the only people that we have to choose from, we are doing a bad job of recruiting.
Well, let me give you
people interested, young people.
Let's set aside just the idea of failing mental capabilities, failing physical capability. Let's set that aside for a second and consider this. Way back when, at the founding of the Constitution, right? Citizens were allowed to vote, and what qualified you for citizenship? Land ownership. Why? Because if you owned land, then you had an investment in the positive duration of the place you lived, right? It was presumed that as a landowner, you would have an affirmative interest. It would be a motivation for you to make sure you had good policy because you would be directly impacted.
Right.
And to be president, it'd be like 35 or something like that. And you know what happens if you have 35? It's expected that you got 20, 30, 40 more years to live in the world you're making. What do you expect of somebody who's 78 years old? It's total cash out time, guys. If you're 78 years old, it is turn in those chips, burn everything down, get what you can, and enjoy it because you're about to go.
I honestly believe that as well. It is preserving their children and their grandchildren's future. It's not really preserving the good for America at that point. And I think that a lot of people have gotten. I know I'm like this is a calm rant, right?
Yeah, this is passive. I can't be too ranty.
But she's so pretty. That little smile,
it's my baby.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't get mad with that cute little smile. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We got any other comments about Tulsi? I love Tulsi. I want to see where she's going. Manuel said that it looks like she's going to be part of an independent party. Go for it. Independent party's not going to go very far because you need enough support to get on ballots and make changes. But independent parties can push the big two one way or another. We'll see what she does. I mean, she would be a superstar if she became a Republican. She would be a Republican superstar. To be honest.
What movie is that from, JJ? What 80s movie is that from?
Oh, I missed it.
Can you dig it? Show enough. Do you remember the Shogun of Harlem? Show enough. Do you remember that? Do you remember Barry? It was called Barry Gordy's Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon. Is this the one where that punched the fist and he caught the fist at the end? Is that the Last Dragon?
Not the
It's like a kung fu.
It's not the Bruce
no. Yeah, it's the one that was
in Harlem.
Black martial artist.
Yeah.
And one of at the scene at the end, he's like the bad guy's like throwing the fist, and the protagonist catches the fist.
Catches it. I don't remember that.
Dude, find a trailer. Let's run a trailer for this thing. These kids, they need to know about stuff like this. While he's doing that, Mr. E says when she invited independents to leave the Democratic Party, I think she was talking to Bernie and others like him. I think Bernie's extreme, but I think there are some middle of the road, regular mainstream Democrats that live in red states that have more conservative values, and she's probably talking to them. But who knows who her audience is? The thing is, she has an audience. She will be a superstar. We'll see. Mr. E wants somebody 45 to 55. I want somebody that smells a lot like Ron DeSantis. That's what I want. Here's we got sound. Yeah, we got sound. Here we go.
A martial arts champion in search of the glow.
Master, I need more time.
I am no longer your master.
A rock and roll star on the rise.
I know what it's like to lose precious things.
A madman.
Shogun.
A maniac.
You're gonna put my video on your show, aren't you?
The answer is no.
And the glamour, the power, and the sound of Motown.
I don't want you to kill anybody.
Are you out of your mind?
The Leroy Green I'm looking for. Little punk thinks he's a kung fu master.
I am no master.
You sure look like a master to me.
This is Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
El DeBarge. I forgot about El DeBarge.
Oh boy, we're gonna get we're gonna get.
We are.
We're gonna get copyright strike. No.
So there.
Can you please go get dressed and we'll. Okay.
I
All right, we'll talk about it. Can you go put some shorts on at least? All right.
I can't remember that voice guy's name.
I feel like the line when he does the fist catch thing, he's like, "Who's the master now?" but
Yeah,
hopefully I'm not mistaken.
Hang on, let me see.
Bruce Leroy. Yes, Bruce Leroy. Yeah, they don't show the climax scene there. Yeah.
Was it right there? Did we just pause it right at the
yes,
there was. He caught it.
Yes. Who's the master now?
Who's the master?
And he catches it and his fist closed.
It's about the power of the glow.
All right, we got to stop. The bar
Guys,
is going to be in trouble.
We had great movies in the 1980s. We had great movies. You guys got terrible movies now. You guys got She-Hulk and Andor. And
but that movie was about a dance TV show, and the guy wanted to get his video of his terrible fiance on the dance video, so he was taking over the he was the bad antagonist because he wanted his girlfriend's
it's probably
video.
been over 30. It's definitely been over. I haven't seen that since like 1986 or something.
That's great. All right.
We got anything left? We got anything? What time is it? We got. We're 10 minutes over. We're 10 minutes over, guys. Thanks for watching the show this morning. We are so grateful that you showed up and watched Your Two Dads on youtube.com/JJW8071 or rumble.com/JJW, which you can find us without getting censored. And by the way, stay tuned. We will find out if this episode gives me another strike. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, share with your fans, share with your friends on Facebooks and all that other stuff. And we will be back tomorrow morning with more great news. It's the best way to start your day. A cup of coffee and a couple dads. We'll see you tomorrow.